Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Noah.
Noah who?
Noah April Fools joke? What did the calendar say after April Fools was declared a holiday?
I don't know.
Prank you very much. Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Wooden shoe.
Wooden shoe. What? Wooden shoe who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Wooden shoe.
Wooden shoe who?
Wouldn't you like to hear another April Fool's Day joke?
Not really.
I was going to tell a time-traveling joke for April Fool's Day, but you didn't like it.
Alrighty then.
One more. Why don't eggs tell April Fool's jokes?
I don't know. Why don't eggs like April Fool's jokes?
They crack each other up. It's Don and Gina.
With another Tuesday tip. And today we're starting out with a quote. Our wisdom comes from our experience, and our experience comes from our foolishness. And this is a quote by Sacha Guitry. Coming on the heels of April Fool's Day, Sacha reminds us that experience not only comes from foolishness, but from messiness. We don't always do things right, especially the first time. We learn from the foolishness, maybe how not to do something, but an experience and a lesson nonetheless. People learn from experience more from experiences than they do from books, teachings, or what people say. Not all experiences work, but they are lessons of the contrast, teaching us, hopefully, how to do it better the next time.
So to me, that's all about making mistakes, and that we need to have the opportunity to make mistakes. We need to celebrate mistakes being made, because in order to figure out the best method to do something, maybe it's making a cake or trying a new recipe or hanging Christmas lights in your house or...
Well, speaking of lights, let's think about Edison with the light bulb. He said to have had like 1,000 different times before he got it right, and he never called them failures. They were just the next step to him. So yeah. Well, I also like to think of, because he talks about foolishness, I like to kind of wrap that into playfulness and creativity is how we can also learn, and I think that's part of this. It's letting go and just running with something, and some people would call that foolishness. Yeah.
And it's okay to be silly when you're learning something. It's okay to joke around about it. If you get people laughing while they're learning something, it's going to engage them on a deeper level.
So it's important for us to accept messiness, accept failure, and then not really even, I wouldn't even call it failure. It's just experience. It's just a lesson. It's I don't know if there's other
the
words.
way our educational system is set up is it's pass or fail.
Black or white.
And that dichotomy of it's either this or it's that, and we're graded on scales. Even in work you get performance reports, and there's numbers 1 through 4, 1 through 5, and I once was told they don't ever give anybody a 5. It's like, okay, so the top level is unachievable? Is that what you're saying, that nobody could ever be the top level?
Yeah.
What's the point of that? What's that push, that strive, that you've got to do better and better? And yet the beauty in making bread for the first time and
watching it flow.
Right. What happens? You can step back and you say, okay, this is what I put in there. This is what happened. What are the things I can do differently? You think of a scientific experiment and you change one variable. If you change multiple things in it, you can't control for what contributed to where you're at. So
yeah, I remember being in corporate world and being known more as a level number. I remember when I worked for Oscar, I went from one division of craft to moved into Oscar Mayer, and everything at Oscar Mayer was, well, what level are you at? This level got this kind of office, and this level got this kind of car. I was in sales, And I thought that was really odd because the company before, within the same company, within Kraft, didn't follow levels so much, and I had a really nice company car. When I came into Oscar Mayer, they're like, how did you get that car? You're not the right level for that. I'm like, well, we didn't really worry about levels.
And you got downgraded with the next company car you got.
Yeah. So it doesn't help creativity. It doesn't help, really. Only thing I learned from it is that, I gotta do this and this to get to this level instead of really learning my job. So
allowing for messiness and creativity. I remember when my kids were little and we used to finger paint, I would just take them outside and we'd finger paint out on the grass and take away that stress of having to clean up the mess inside. I had a friend who would do things like spray down the kitchen floor when they made a mess. And
I think if I remember the person I'm talking about, used to put plastic down on the carpet, like cover the whole carpet with a tarp, and then we would just go crazy. They would just be very free to do whatever. So I think it's important for us to remember and appreciate and messiness, appreciate the failings, And
it can be different. You've got a young kid and you're looking at finger painting or they draw on the walls. Well, maybe you've got a teenager who's dating and the messiness of breaking up with someone and not trying to solve it or fix it for them, allowing them to be sad, allowing those feelings, and maybe they don't handle it the best, but they're learning from that experience. We can't stand over them and tell them how to process it and what to do. And there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah.
You'll learn from this experience, you'll be stronger because of it. No, it's allowing that process to happen and unfold naturally.
Well, I always like when I think about dating, it's almost like you're making this pros and cons list in a way. As you date somebody, well, I like this about them. I like this. This is that's not my favorite thing about it.
So that's how your brain works.
Well, yeah, that does in a way.
Not everybody's brain works that way.
No, but I mean, I don't. Well, I think
for you, that's kind of what was going on inside your mind as you.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I didn't say there's nothing wrong with it, but you're assuming that everybody does.
I was just saying that's just how I thought it was really interesting when I thought about it, that you slowly, it helps you to learn to find the right person, the person that fits for you.
That you want to spend your time with,
yes.
Your life with.
Well, so you just get it helps you to shape what you're going to look for in a person that you really want to be around and share with. That's what I was saying.
I'm not trying to discount what you're saying. I was just trying to expand on the fact that different people process things differently.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. That's our tip for today, I guess.
Well, I don't think I ever really, I'm not sure how much I did that in my mind as far as a pros and cons list. To me, it was more about the feeling of how I felt in the situation.
Yeah.
So we got to recognize there are differences in how we approach things. And like I remember you having this talk with our son about you need to date a lot of people and you need to learn from the experience. And for him, that's not how he progresses in life, and recognizing the differences we all have, and it's messy. And being okay with the mess. Right when I bake, Don, what happens?
Ooh, tornadoes. Kitchen tornadoes.
It's messy.
Yes.
It tastes good.
But it is good, yes.
But it is messy in the kitchen. And so, okay, Gina's going to bake. What just goes through your mind?
I just run.
He's going to clean up the kitchen.
Yeah.
And yet without that mess, would we have yummy apple pie or
All right.
chocolate gingerbread cookies? So that's our tip for today. Hope you join us on Thursdays for our full podcast. Check us out, share this with other people. And remember, how you speak to your children today shapes their future and yours.